Hey guys, welcome to another latest comic book finds volume. Don't know what number this is, but these 12 issues range from Larry's shop that you saw in me and Eddie's mission back in September to the newest, another trip I made there by myself, plus to Corey's shop, the cult shop. So lots of good issues and a funny story about these two issues that I'm going to show off first. And Eddie even gave me one comic in this, so you'll see it. So, at the cult shop, I'm going to go ahead and show it off because the most impressive stuff came from Larry's. So, I'm going to show Larry's stuff at the end. So, at the cult shop, I picked up two New 52 issues. And they're more known for being notoriously bad. They're bad comics that Scott LaBelle done. Now, he had been handed a couple titles, and one of them was it was Teen Titans. And he proceeded to turn in one of the worst origin stories regarding Kid Flash that was ever made. And they jumped, DC, after it was done, DC decided just to ignore it all. But I picked up the issues just to read to see how bad they are. And the origin of Kid Flash began here, issue 25 in Teen Titans, and it concluded in issue 26. The books are just really bad. They said that the origin is so confusing and so really confusing, and it just didn't help. And now they pretty much ignored it. They wrote it away. That whole thing never happened, so we can ignore it. So there we go. I can't wait to read it, though. I want to read to see how bad it is. Now, Eddie gave me this one book, and I'm going to go ahead and show it real quick. I gave him one of the trade paperback books for a little handheld book of ghost stories that I found at the Goodwill. Because he really liked it. And I was like, well, you found me some movies, and I'm going to go ahead and give you that. Well, he also gave me a comic. It was Married with Children #1. A beautiful, nice photo cover with the classic Married with Children cast when they was young. And it's really weird to see this because you see Al, Ed O'Neill, and you see David Faustino, and you see Katie Seagal, and you see them really, they was really young. What's her name still looks the same. She still looks really nice, But Ed O'Neill, you could tell he's gotten older, and Katie Seagal, she still looks pretty good for her age, too. But, sad to say, Buck the dog is now gone. He passed away in the late 90s. He passed away about 2 or 3 years after they let him leave the show. He had gotten so old, he couldn't go up the steps on the set. And they realized he was having issues, and they couldn't just put that dog through pain like that. So they wrote him out, and I think about a year or two later, he passed, possibly. I think it was around that time he passed away, and they just let him retire and live a dog's life and let him rest. And still, that dog was probably one of my favorite dogs in the TV shows, and I love the voice of him. Well, let's get to the serious stuff. I picked up 3 more issues at Corey's shop, and it was all Green Lantern. Eddie's picked up a bunch of Green Lantern, and I picked up a bunch. So I picked up Green Lantern number 145 against Golden. I can't think of this villain's name. Gold. I know his first name starts with Gold. I think Gold Hand or Golden Hand or Eddie will know. But yeah, I've got issue 146, so I need it 145. And I love this cover right here. This is with the Omega Men. Here's Hal Jordan getting ready to throw down with a fight against all the odds. It's issue 161. There we go. And I'm surprised I needed this issue. It's actually a pretty funny cover, and it shows that Lin Wynn and Dave Gibbons wrote it, and I really liked it. Out of the way, has been. From now on, I'm Green Lantern. Oh yeah, John Stewart's just pushing Hal Jordan out of the way. Get out of the way, son. I've got this shit. I would like to be put down in another panel. I got this shit. It would have been funny as hell. Can you imagine having that in the panel? You couldn't do it then with the Comics Code, but now I'm shocked that somebody ain't put that in there. I got this shit. But we're gonna get to Larry's stuff, and there was 6 issues here that I picked up, and I made a second trip there, and I had to pick up 2 movies that you saw, in the movie hall. I had to pick up Friday the 13th. So, and no, it was Nightmare on Elm Street, Never Sleep Again, and there's another one, The Barn. But I had to get those 2 movies, and I picked up a comic along the way. I picked up that you'll see here. So, the first trip I got was Batman 220 with Eddie. Not in the best shape, but it fills in a hole in my Batman run. The long, never-ending Batman run. The one that's I've been working on for the last 2 decades. And there's one high-priced issue I need. It's 227, and I'm going to try to get it eventually one day. Maybe. I've got every other issue. Now, this is a first appearance, but it's not in great shape, and I just picked it up to have it. Somebody had this in a leaf binder, as you could tell, and I've seen this in some of the cons and conventions that people have some of their older comics, because they didn't care back then. They would just read them, put them between bicycle spokes, and do whatever the hell they wanted. So, this one had holes punched in where they had put it in a binder, and probably took it to school and read while they was sitting there in school. But it's the first appearance of the Parasites, Action Comics number 340. Again, Larry didn't charge me that much for it. It was just basically a reader copy until I can get a better one. So, I just got it for the fact that I had the first appearance of Parasite, even if it's in really not that great a shape. And it's kind of cool to think back to how people did comics back then. Because, you didn't really care. You didn't see the value in them. They was there to be read, and they just, CGC wasn't even a thought on the mind. Wasn't even a pimple on the ass. I like that little saying. But now I got some better condition books. We got that one out of the way. Now, on the last trip, me and Eddie was looking at some books, and I was making my cuts. I was going through, because I got some games and movies, and so I'm cutting through, and I'm looking, and all of a sudden I put this back, and I was like, man, I hope he still got it, because it's a really nice first appearance, a decent first appearance at the price. It's Captain America 123, and it's the first appearance of Suprema. She's still around the Marvel Universe, and me and Eddie talked about her, and you never know, she might be used ahead. I mean, she would probably be a good character for that New World Order movie. But we'll never know. But it could happen. Yeah. This was a nice little cheap first appearance, and this was on the second trip when I picked up those movies. Now, back to the first trip, and I picked up 2 good first appearances in the second to close this volume out. I picked up issue 360 of Action Comics, and this is the second appearance of the Parasite. Way better shape, and a pretty good book. Second appearance of him, and it's kind of nice to get the first and second appearance of the Parasite. It's a nice little find. Now we're going to go to a first appearance, and I've been getting a lot of Legion of Superheroes first appearances. Back in the spring, I picked up a number of books that Larry had first appearances. And one of the characters I was really happy to get, and the character came out years before Wolverine did. But, his look, you could say, is a little nowadays, back in the 90s, he started making him look more like a wolf. It is Adventure Comics number 327, the first appearance of Timberwolf. And they called him Lone Wolf, the Lone Wolf Legionnaire, but he later became Timberwolf, and his character, he could be, tough and rugged, and I like that character. Jim Shooter wrote a nice arc in the 2000s for the three-peat league, or the Three World League, as they call it, the young Three-Boot Legion. It's just that he never got to finish the story. Timberwolf was turning bad. And he never got to finish that story. And I should have asked him. But next con, I'm going to ask Jim Shooter what his plans was with that. And finally, the first appearance I was really happy to get. And because he's going to be, I think, in Thunderbolts. It is Captain America 168, the first appearance of Baron Zemo. I believe that he will be in Thunderbolts. I don't know. I don't think he was in the promotional stuff, but given the reception of his character, I think we might see him. So yeah, this was kind of nice to get the first appearance of Baron Zemo. This is one of the holes in my Captain America run that I had to, I always wanted to feel, and when Larry had it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. So nice one, Larry. And it's a very good shape. It's just got that one little spot right there, a little mark. But other than that, nice. But yeah, that's my haul. This is a bunch of good first appearances, good second appearance, and some funny issues, like I said, with the Teen Titans. I've got to read to see how bad that story was and how confusing. But, I hope you like this haul. I hope you like this latest Comic Book Finds volume. And until next time, I hope you like and sub the channel and drop a comment or two. See what you say. Till next time, keep on reading.